Time for the word. Hello again, beautiful people. Welcome back to another Motivational Wednesday. As you can see, the title of this video is Hannah's Prayer, a prayer from the heart. And I will be reading this morning from the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 1 to the end, and 1 Samuel chapter 2 from verse 1 to verse 11. Let's read this morning. This story is about Hannah, Samuel, the prophet Samuel's mother. Let's read this morning, beautiful people. I'm about to slaughter some words. Forgive me, okay? Now there was a certain man of Ramahaim Zohim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, and Hephathite. I hope I got those names right, beautiful people. And he had two wives. What a lucky man. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. My Lord. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship. He was a godly man. And to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priest of the Lord, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah, his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters portions. So when they go to sacrifice yearly, he brought gifts for his wives, and he gave Peninnah, the one that had children, for him, and the children their portion. But unto Hannah, listen this morning, beautiful people. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion. For he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb. So this man had a special love for Hannah. And the Bible is telling us that he gave her a worthy portion because of the love that he had for her. This Hannah did not bear Elkanah any children, but he loved her. Beautiful people, you see, we live in a world now where women are going to books and going to relationship counselors to find, why is my partner not doing this? Why is my partner not doing that? It's because these men nowadays, they don't love us. Because when a man loves you, when he loves you, he gives you anything, everything, and he does it out of his heart. You don't have to ask. The Bible is telling us here this morning, beautiful people. And her adversary, this is Hannah's adversary, also provoked her. And her adversary was Peninnah, because Peninnah had children and Hannah did not. So she provoked Hannah. You can just imagine you're living in a house or on the same property with a woman who has children for your husband, and she's telling you every day, you barren woman, you can't even give your husband a child. I gave him 5 sons, I gave him 4 daughters. You can just imagine being in an environment, beautiful people, like that. This is what Hannah had to live with back in the days, beautiful people. And her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret. What an evil, she was evil, what an evil woman. Imagine, beautiful people, she was living in an house or on the same property with a lady that was provoking her sore, getting up every day and telling her that you're barren. You can't give your husband any children, because the Lord has shut up her womb. And the Bible is saying here that the Lord had shut up her womb. So it wasn't even her fault. It was the Lord who did it. The Lord said, I'm not going to let you have any children, because maybe who to tell? Because sometimes, we pray to God for things and sometimes we love the thing more than the Lord. So I don't know why the Lord shut up this lady's womb, beautiful people. And as he did so year by year, this is their husband, Elkanah, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. My God. Imagine, this lady was going through hell with the other woman, the side chick. Well, the Bible said he had 2 wives. Well, But the Bible also said that he loved Hannah more than Peninnah. Yes. Then said Elkanah. So this lady, when she go up to the place where they worship, she could not even eat. Then here the husband to her, now, no beautiful people. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? Why are you crying, Hannah? Why every time we come up here, you keep on crying? You don't have no joy. What is wrong with you? And why eatest thou not? Why aren't you eating? And why is thy heart grieved? This lady she was in pain. She was grieving as if somebody died, beautiful people. Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? You hear the question that this man is asking Hannah. Am I not better to thee than 10 sons? But you see, I don't think it was even the fact that she could not bear a child was the problem. It was the other woman in her back. The other woman was telling her every day, you can't have a child. I gave birth to how many sons and how many daughters. You can't even give him one. But I think the reason why Peninnah kept on doing that is because she knows that Elkanah loved Hannah more than her. She was a bitter woman. She was bitter. Beautiful people. Listen the story. Listen. So he asked her, am I not better to thee than 10 sons? Because he loved her and he gave her, he gave her stuff, gifts. He treated her well, beautiful people. So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. So Hannah left and she went to the temple. And she was in bitterness of soul and prayed unto the Lord and wept. She was weeping. She went to the temple. And I can just imagine, maybe she didn't even kneel, because sometimes when you're going through some things, you have to lie on your belly, beautiful people. You have to get down flat. And she vowed a vow, listen this morning, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thine handmaid a man-child. She told God exactly what she wanted, beautiful people. A man-child that I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. So that was her vow. She said, Father, if you just give me that one child, and I will give him back to you. So she vowed a vow. And it came to pass as she continued praying before the Lord that Eli marked her mouth. So the prophet was there, the priest was there, and he was like watching her mouth, she was like, Lord. She was moving her mouth, but there were no sound, beautiful people. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart. She spake in her heart. Only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. So she was talking to God from her heart, mighty God. But her voice was not heard. Therefore, Eli thought she had been drunken, because the priest was there looking at, and she's moving her mouth, but I'm not hearing any sound. Beautiful people. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, because the priest thought that, they come up, they celebrate life. When they come up there, they eat and they drink. So, he thought, well, she's drunk. She had too much to drink. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink today. I did not have a strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. So she was saying, No, Eli, I'm not drunk. I'm not a vulgar woman. No. I pray to God from my heart. God, I told God what was making me cry. Yes. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition. Go in peace, and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked him for. Because remember now, she spoke from the heart. Her lips moved, but there were no sound coming out of her lips, beautiful people. Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. So Anna left. Anna waited until everyone ate and drank, beautiful people, and she went to the temple and she poured her soul out to the Lord. And after she prayed, she got her release. She got a release, beautiful people. And verse 18, and she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat. So after she prayed, and the priest said to her, the priest said to her, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition. After all that, the lady appetite opened up, beautiful people. There's something to learn here. She was going through the other lady in her life was provoking her. Her husband did not understand, but Hannah put all that aside, put everything, and went before God in prayer. So that is something important to learn this morning. Take it to God in prayer. Take it, give it to the Lord and get your release. Get a release, beautiful people. Get a release. Give it to God. God can handle it. Whatever it is this morning, God can handle your request. He can handle your petition. He will answer your prayer the same way he answered Hannah's prayer. Verse 19. And they rose up in the morning early and worshipped. That is her husband, the other wife, Peninnah, and their children. They rose up and they worshipped before the Lord and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Yes, man. So they went back home, and Hannah knew. When the Bible said knew, that means, they did what husband and wives supposed to do, and the Lord remembered her prayer. The Lord remembered how she was grieving, how she knelt that day, how she wept. She prayed from her soul, beautiful people. It's prayers like that touches our God. Don't when you're praying, don't pretty it up. No, man, don't pretty it up. Just tell God. Tell him just the way it is. Tell him, talk to him just like how you talk to your regular friends. He will understand and he will answer your prayers. Wherefore it came to pass when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. What a special pregnancy, beautiful people. What a special birth. She gave birth to a son, and she called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. What a special child. What a testimony, beautiful people. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice and his vow. So they went back, beautiful people. They went back to, I think it was Shiloh. Is it Shiloh? Yes, so they went back to Shiloh to offer their yearly sacrifice. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, because she was still breastfeeding her child. And then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. So she was going to live up to her vow, because she said, Lord, if you give me this child, I will lend him back to you. I'll give him back to you, Lord. And Elkanah, her husband, said unto her, Do what seemeth thee good. Tarry until thou hast weaned him. Only the Lord established his word. So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her, with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour, and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young. And they slew a bullock. This child was special, beautiful people. And they slew a bullock and brought the child to Eli. And Eli was the priest. And she said, Oh, my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman. I am the woman. I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. You remember me, Eli? The same woman that you were asking me if I was drunk. Me, same one, I am back. And I am back with my testimony this morning. Mighty God. For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition. My God, which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. So she went back to the priest with her baby boy. And she said, Here is the child that I was praying to God for. She went back and she gave her testimony. So let's read, beautiful people. Chapter 2. And I will stop at verse 11. And Hannah prayed and said, My heart rejoiceth in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over mine enemies, over Peninnah, the one that was making me grieve. Mighty God, and remember now is one child. Sometimes you don't need a lot to tell the devil, look here, I am winning. You don't need a lot, and you just need God to answer one prayer to shut up the enemy. One. You just need one, beautiful people. Let me start over. And Hannah prayed and said, My heart is rejoiceth in the Lord. Mine horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over mine enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee. Neither is there any rock like our God. Is there any rock like our God this morning? No. Talk no more so exceedingly proud, woman, that was making my life a living hell. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. God, shut it up, man. I get my baby boy and I shut her up. She no longer can call me barren. I have a testimony now because God granted me my petition and I gave birth to my baby boy. A special baby boy. It wasn't just any baby boy. Talk no more exceedingly proud. Let no arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Who is like unto our God this morning, beautiful people? The bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumbled are girded with strength. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread. Because God have a way, of turning things around, beautiful people. Today you're high, the next day you're low. Be humble, beautiful people, be humble. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they that were hungry ceased, so that the barren hath borne 7, and she that hath many children is waxed feeble. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yes, that is our God. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. Yes. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill. Let me tell you, God can change your life around, beautiful people. Just continue to pray. Continue to trust him. Continue to live for him. He can turn your situations around. Wow. This is Hannah's prayer, beautiful people. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. Verse 11 and last. This is 1 Samuel chapter 2, and I said I was going to stop at verse 11. And Elkanah went to Ramah to his house, and the child did minister unto the Lord before Eli the priest. So she brought her son, and she did what she said she was going to do. She left the child there to minister to the Lord. And the Lord did use Samuel, beautiful people. What Hannah was trying to say here in her prayer. Don't look down on anybody, because today for you, tomorrow for me. Thank you all for watching, beautiful people. As I said in last week's video, I will be talking a lot about women from the Bible, women from this beautiful book. And as you can see, this morning was Hannah's story. Hannah's prayer, a prayer from the heart. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. Let's see what I will come up with next week, Wednesday. God bless you all.